The Philadelphia Eagles did not come out of draft weekend looking normal. They came out looking like a team that knows the rest of the NFC is watching and still kept adding more pressure anyway. Jalen Hurts already had enough around him to make defenses nervous. Saquon Barkley still bends the whole box toward him. A.J. Brown still makes corners play scared. Devonta Smith still wins before the ball even leaves the quarterback hand. Dallas Goedert still owns space where linebackers hate running. And now somehow Howie Roseman found new ways to make that same offense feel different. But this is where the story starts getting dangerous. This was not only about adding names, it was about changing how teams have to prepare for Philadelphia. Mekhi Lemon brings fresh speed and quick separation. Eli Stowers gives them another young target in the middle of the field. Dontavion Wicks adds another receiver who can stretch the room and fight for snaps. So now every defense has a new problem. Do they load up for Saquon Barkley? Do they shade help toward A.J. Brown? Do they chase Devonta Smith through clean routes? Or do they risk letting the new rookie walk into space and burn them quietly? And the scary part is, the Eagles did not stop on offense. Jonathan Greenard gives the defense a proven edge threat, and that changes the whole mood of this roster. This team is no longer only trying to stay dangerous. It looks like they are trying to become deeper, faster, and harder to solve before anyone gets comfortable. That is why this draft weekend feels bigger than a few new faces. It feels like a warning. And the first warning sign came when Philadelphia moved up, took Mekhi Lemon, and made everyone ask the same question. Why did they want him that badly? The move that made everyone pause was Mekhi Lemon. Not because the Philadelphia Eagles needed attention, but because Howie Roseman moved like he knew something other teams were about to find out. A team with Jalen Hurts did not trade up for a quiet piece. They went after a rookie receiver who can step into traffic, separate fast, and make small windows feel open. That kind of pick says one thing without saying it out loud. The Eagles were not satisfied. What makes Mekhi Lemon so interesting is the timing. A.J. Brown is still a major name in the building. Devonta Smith is still one of the cleanest route runners in football. But Philadelphia still looked at the board and said, "We need another answer." That is not random. That means they saw a spot where this offense could get sharper, faster throws, quicker breaks, easier space for Jalen Hurts when the pocket gets tight and the defense starts cheating toward the stars. And this is where it gets uncomfortable for the rest of the league. Mekhi Lemon does not have to carry the whole offense to matter right away. He only has to punish the moments defenses forget about him. If they roll help toward A.J. Brown, he gets room. If they sit on Devonta Smith, he gets matchups. If they crowd Saquon Barkley, the ball comes out fast. That is why this pick feels bigger than a normal first-round swing. But the next move was quieter, and it might create a problem in the middle of the field that nobody is ready to handle. The quiet move was Eli Stowers, and quiet is exactly why it feels dangerous. Everybody will talk about the flashy receiver first because Mekhi Lemon was the loud swing. But Philadelphia did something smarter right after that. They gave Jalen Hurts another young target who can work where defenses already feel stressed. Not outside the numbers. Not only deep. Right in that middle space where one wrong step from a linebacker turns into a clean throw and a long problem. Dallas Goedert still matters, and that is what makes this even better for the Eagles. Eli Stowers does not have to walk in and carry the tight end room on day one. He can learn, grow, and still give this offense a new shape when his number gets called. A rookie tight end with receiving skill creates a different kind of stress. If a linebacker follows him, the matchup can tilt toward Philadelphia. If a smaller defender takes him, the ball can go high. That is the kind of choice defenses hate, and now the picture gets heavier. Saquon Barkley already pulls defenders forward. A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith already pull coverage outside. Mekhi Lemon adds another speed problem. Then Eli Stowers walks into the soft spot and makes the middle feel unsafe too. That is how an offense becomes harder to call against. Not because every player needs 10 catches, but because every player changes the answer. And while the offense started building new pressure, Howie Roseman made one defensive move that gave the whole roster a nastier edge. The move that changed the tone was Jonathan Greenard. The Philadelphia Eagles were already building a faster offense, but this trade told the league something else. They were not only trying to score more, they wanted quarterbacks to feel heat faster. Greenard is not a rookie learning what NFL speed looks like. He is a proven edge threat, and when Howie Roseman used real draft value to bring him in, that sent a clear message. The Eagles wanted pressure now. That matters because the middle of this defense already has force. Jalen Carter can wreck the pocket from inside. Jordan Davis can make the run game feel heavy. Moro Ojomo gives the rotation more strength. Then you add Nolan Smith Jr., Jalix Hunt, and Arnold Ebiketie around the edge, and the picture starts getting crowded for every offense on the schedule. Now place Jonathan Greenard into that mix and the problem changes. Teams cannot slide help everywhere. Somebody gets a clean chance, but the real danger is not only one sack or one big hit, it is the pressure before the snap. It is the quarterback knowing the pocket might close from the outside while the inside collapses at the same time. That kind of defense speeds up decisions. It turns good plays into rushed throws. It makes clean drives feel shaky. And after Philadelphia added that grown man edge presence, Howie Roseman went back to the future and took a giant tackle who looks like one of the biggest development swings in this whole class. The biggest body in this story is Markel Bell, and that is not just a small detail. When the Philadelphia Eagles took him, they were not chasing a safe finish player. They were betting on rare size, rare reach, and a rookie tackle who looks like he was built for a different kind of football project. At 6'9" and 346 pounds, Bell is the kind of player who makes coaches pause before they even turn on the full tape. But size alone does not win in the NFL. That is the part that makes this pick so interesting. Markel Bell still has to sharpen his footwork, control his balance, and learn how to handle rushers who attack low and fast. Being huge helps, but it also puts pressure on every small mistake. That is why landing in Philadelphia matters. He walks into a building with Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, and a line room that understands patience. They do not need him to become a starter tomorrow. They need him to become better every week. And this is where the pick starts to make real sense. Lane Johnson will not play forever. Jordan Mailata is proof that unusual size can become something powerful when the plan is right. So Markel Bell is not only depth, he is a future bet with serious upside. If the Eagles hit on this one, they might protect Jalen Hurts for years without having to panic later. But after taking the giant tackle, Howie Roseman still had more work waiting. And the next group of picks showed how deep this class was meant to go. The headline picks got the noise, but this is where the Philadelphia Eagles showed the real plan. Cole Payton was not brought in to shake the room around Jalen Hurts. He was brought in as a rookie quarterback who can learn without the whole city staring at him every week. That matters. Good teams do not only build for today, they keep young arms in the building, keep competition alive, and make sure the future does not sneak up on them. Then Micah Morris made the class feel even more like Philadelphia. Another young lineman, another big body, another player who does not need to be rushed into the spotlight before he is ready. The Eagles understand something simple. If the line gets weak, everything else gets harder. The run game slows down, the pocket gets messy. The whole offense loses rhythm. So instead of waiting for trouble, they added more weight to the fight before the problem even arrived. And the late picks brought a different kind of pressure. Cole Wisniewski walks into a safety room where snaps have to be earned. Keyshawn James Newby joins an edge group where nothing is free because the names ahead of him already bring heat. That is not a bad place for a rookie. That is a proving ground. Every rep matters. Every special team snap matters. Every mistake gets noticed. And just when this class looked like normal depth building, Howie Roseman took the strangest swing of the weekend. One built around rare athletes from a football path almost nobody saw coming. The strangest swing of the Philadelphia Eagles draft was Orr Bernard, and that is why it feels so hard to ignore. This was not a normal 7th-round flyer. This was a rookie defensive tackle from Nigeria who entered the league with almost no normal football path behind him, yet still made Howie Roseman take the shot. That alone tells you how different this pick is. Some late picks are about safe depth. This one is about rare tools and a bet most teams would be scared to make. But Philadelphia has a reason to believe in strange paths. Jordan Mailata already proved that a player can come from outside the usual football world and still become a real answer if the work is serious and the building has patience. Nobody should put that same story on Orr Bernard too early because that would be unfair, but the idea is clear. The Eagles saw size, movement, and raw power, then asked a simple question. What happens if we teach this from the ground up? Then came Joshua Weru, and the whole international angle got even more interesting. He brings another rare athletic background, another new body, and another chance for the coaching staff to turn traits into football value. Maybe this takes time. Maybe it gets messy first. But late roster spots are where teams search for surprises. And Philadelphia just added 2 names with stories nobody can copy. That leaves one final question hanging over the whole roster. After all the weapons, pressure, size, and upside, is there still one spot the Eagles need to settle before this thing feels complete? The one place still asking for answers is the safety room. The Philadelphia Eagles changed so much across this roster, but this spot still feels like the part everyone should watch closest. Andrew Mukuba has talent. Marcus Epps brings experience. Andre Sam, JT, Gray, and Michael Carter II give the room more bodies. Then Cole Wisniewski enters as a rookie, trying to turn camp reps into real trust. That is not a weak room, but it is a room that still has to prove it is settled. And that is why the bottom of the roster matters now. Deontay Lawson gives the linebacker group a serious camp name. Kapena Gushikin, Tucker Large, and Maximus Pulley bring more heat to the secondary battle. Yaden Roberts adds another offensive line body. Rocco Underwood walks into one of those jobs fans rarely discuss until something goes wrong. Daquan Wright gives the tight end room another young option. These names are not here for decoration. They are here to make someone uncomfortable, so this whole weekend leaves Philadelphia in a strange place. Better, deeper, faster, and still not fully closed. Howie Roseman gave Jalen Hurts new targets. He added pressure to the defense. He built size for the future. He took wild swings on rare athletes. But the safety question keeps the final door open. And that is what makes this team so interesting right now. The Eagles already changed everything. Yet one more move might still be sitting out there.